They use printed paper and worthless metal with their demonic symbols stamped on every bit of it to keep our minds fixed on chasing the worthless money that only our beliefs, shackles, and our actions of focus and chase. It makes money mean anything, anything at all. A child's body, depending on the weight and size, will produce anywhere from 2 diamonds, that would be an infant, to 60 if the child weighs 225 pounds. So, on the average, we would each offer at least enough ashes to make 30 to 50 diamonds, every one of us, save for babies and very small children. So, the question is, how many diamonds on the sales market are actually human and not poured by hand? Hold on 1 second, I just have to check something. My moderator is, oh, okay. All right. Okay. Also, how many diamonds are human and animal, broken down over time and heated by the weather and every natural process it takes to create diamonds from the carbon rich soil? Could we be wearing our 7 times great grandma and grandpa? Or maybe we are wearing our enemy from long ago. Who knows? In fact, we don't know if they've had this technology to create diamonds for centuries. But what we do know is that they have found every possible way to mummify, encapsulate, bury us in 6 by 6 graves inside a satin, Velcro, velour, wood, metal coffin with our organs removed, formaldehyde consumed, cemented earth to entomb us, making it impossible to free ourselves from this matrix. Diamond means demon and demon. People don't know this. We simply think it's the most precious gemstone in the universe, which is not so. Not only is it abundant like oil, renewable and easily made from sentient bone, it was sold to us as rare, so we'd buy them, use them in matrimony, and spend reckless amounts of money on something that is as ordinary as gravel. Unless, of course, it's your deceased loved one who's going to become a piece of lint in 4 generations past while they're screaming from their tomb that needs bells in every corner to hope that they can get out by someone who can hear their dead souls writhing. So, do we choose trees to be buried under? Because trees that upload our souls as they are sucked up through the root system to become a part of the tree itself for the next 500 to 10,000 years, or just as bad, grown and used as shredded paper, or worse than that, money, paper money, that's only useful for ink and spell casting by black ink curses to be written or have the rights on. And here's the thing, they're selling this, right? Buy this tree with this whole gadget underneath the tree, and you put your person's ashes in it and the water, and then the tree sucks it up and then it becomes part of the tree. You know, there's a reason why the ancestors and many lore and folklore and so on and so forth says that people actually came from trees. But could trees also, there's a very deep relationship with trees and the human condition. Is this one of the ways? Is this one of the reasons? You think that this isn't a reoccurring thing that they've been doing? Absolutely. They have no creativity. Everything's, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what the system is. But then again, we can take a look at, do we prefer stewing our bodies in a human corpse stew plant just to be liquidated for human fertilizer over the gates of hell, GMO farmland, providing vaccinated black goo, protein nourishment for the unsuspecting masses that are eating our homo-borged flesh? Or do we rest in peace in a $1,800 to $5,000 plus varnished wood or metal coffin, where the prevention of decomposition of a dead body seems so utterly, stupidly important? A casket is a basket that is designed to keep our spirit fragmented from itself in this lifetime as well as other lifetimes, where we opted to preserve our deaths for no other reason than customs, culture, dictates, and fears fed by evil at the expense of our souls. I mean, there's no reason we need to be put in a coffin. Ever need to be put in a coffin. If we are nature and meant to be returned to dust, to dust, to the soil, to the earth, then why not just put us in the ground? And they say because it's not healthy. Well, who's digging down 6 feet? Who's digging down 4 feet? If it's a cemetery, it's a cemetery. See, nothing that they do concerning our living, let alone our dying, makes any sense at all. And it has nothing to do with nature. It's not natural. And then we could fall back on cremation in order to sit in an urn inside a cement tube or on the mantle for all to view the worshiping of our deceased beloveds. Or maybe, just maybe, we turn the ashes into diamonds, because the Hollywood machine had Marilyn Monroe sing to us with his kissable red lips and sexy gams how diamonds are a girl's best friend. Even though she was a boy beneath the ruffles and the diamond-clad necklace glittered over her fake breasts and his fake breasts and a male ass from here to nowhere. But we followed this shiv's propaganda, buying into our superficial craving for demons. And if we don't stop to think, to fully realize what they are doing to us when we die, then we are not giving ourselves any real opportunity to exit this matrix. Our bodies and our souls, our leftover emotions, all of our attachments, energetic imprints, our ignorance, our coffins, our removed organs, our urns, and our diamonds will boomerang us right back here, if that's what we want. Cool. But if it isn't, this becomes a very real problem. This is a reason why they don't want these metasuits to decompose. Think about it with me for a moment. There's absolutely no need to hold a wake or view dead friends in order to bid them a fond fare thee well. Really, it's quite morbid. It is quite selfish. And it's cruel to have our loved ones carved up and drained, paraded in front of stranger because it has become customary. It's barbaric. It's a very barbaric ritual of parading our loved ones' empty, rotting flesh while keeping our dead from ever fully reuniting with their creator, forcing them back to this planet for another round of abuse, sorrows, and battery-powered enslavement. Now, many sects of early religion, by the way, almost all of them under Judaism in some form or fashion, particularly those that follow the asceticism, denied ever looking upon the dead. Unless we wash the dead, we sit and oversee the dead, but we don't put our attachments to the dead. We find it unholy and a disturbance of the consciousness is found respite in this place called sleep. So, in the Jewish tradition, we bury our dead in 24 hours. We never put anybody other than in a pine box, and I don't even know why that has to happen. But that's what we do. And then we sit Shiva. Okay, that's our way of overseeing the dead. And I don't think that's correct either. But anyways, let me go on. What we do to our dead is no different than what the Egyptians did to theirs in their bloody pursuit to keep the soul connected to the body, to the material attachments, under the indoctrinated perception of assisting with an easy transition in the afterlife. So the Egyptians would leave food and leave grain, they leave the gold, they leave linen, they leave jewelry, they leave all these things that were precious to the one that died in order to assist them in the afterlife when there's no body. No, it's to encourage them to return to their lives and their things, their material life, not leaving this plane of existence. They anoint the carcass. They adore and they worship it. They wail and bemoan, holding on to the soul rather than rejoicing in its freedom. Think about it. We're told to wear black when we go to a funeral. Why? Why wear black? Because black is symbolic of darkness. They say, no, it's symbolic of grief. Well, I understand grieving. I do. And trust me, I know grieving very well. However, um, we don't have to continue to place symbols on top of ourselves to remind ourselves that we live in Hades, that we live in the Shadowlands. We already know that. What we should be doing is rejoicing that these beings got free, and what we should be doing is helping them to pass over and get through the trickery that's on the other side so they don't have to come back here anymore.